Welcome to a look at Facebook and the Messenger product, as well as WhatsApp, to help your business to connect better with your customers and to do a lot more, I guess, with a lot less when it comes to working with social media, to connect with customers, potential clients, and a whole lot more. My name's Dante St. James. We'll get underway and share this screen, and we'll explore the world of first Facebook Messenger and then a little bit with WhatsApp as well. And just get that slideshow working. It never quite works the way I want it to work straight away. Look at that. We're going to drive results using Facebook Messenger. My name's Dante St. James, as I said. I'm working with the ASBAS Digital Solutions Program to bring these free webinars to you across across Queensland, Northern Territory and Western Australia. I'm working with Facebook's Australian New Zealand Community Trainer Network, as well as Facebook's Blueprint Lead Trainer Network across the world. What we're going to cover in this session, though, is what the Messenger landscape is like, an overview of Facebook's Messenger solutions, and we're going to craft your Facebook Messenger marketing strategy and look at messaging reporting and insights that comes with all that too. But first, a look at what the messaging landscape is like. It's certainly changed a lot from the old days of just SMS or phone calls. Messaging is widespread and it is continuing to grow, with more than 20 billion messages on Messenger exchanged by people and businesses every single month. It is a staggering number of messages. It means those little thumbs are going really hard on that little blue Messenger app. Well, now it's blue and pink, isn't it? And purple. So why is Messenger so powerful as a tool for business, not just for people who are, say, for instance, chatting to their mum or dad or their kids or their friends? Well, Messenger is where businesses are already starting to see success. So we're going to use the example of Lucky Shrub as one of our featured businesses, asking and seeing how they will interact with their customers to get more connection, more sales, and ultimately, I guess, something that's more ongoing, which is a relationship with those customers. It's going to help you to raise awareness of your business. It's going to help you to generate leads for your business. We all need more of those. And it's also going to help you to drive those leads through to a much better conclusion to simply losing that lead and letting it go dead. And it's also going to help you to provide support as a customer service channel. So first, let's look at how you manage your messages on Messenger. You engage customers with messages. This is what it's all about. It's providing that place where people can actually talk to you, people can interact with you, and people are able to, I guess, reach out in a way that's more comfortable where they're at. We've seen very much in the last year, particularly, people get less comfortable with phone calls and in person and more comfortable with reaching out to you through messaging services, whether that's Messenger, WhatsApp, or whatever the messaging solution you're going to use to engage with your customers. So the best practices we have in mind for the idea of responding to messages as a business is to be responsive. Make sure you're responding to those messages. Leaving a message from someone unread or unacknowledged for a year is completely irresponsible these days, even leaving it alone for 24 hours. Although we find that there are some principles around that might help you to do that. Maybe 24 hours for things that aren't particularly urgent, or if it's a service related question. But if it's something which people are trying to buy, the quicker you can respond, the easier it is for them to buy, and the more likely you are to secure that sale. Looking at monitoring trends too, when you're speaking to your customers in person, you've got this amazing opportunity to be able to see the trends that are going on with each of your customers. Say you get 20 different messages that you're dealing with every day, then you've got 20 different opportunities to see what people are enjoying, what they're liking, what they're disliking, what the things are they wish they could probably buy or get a service from you for. You can set expectations for the way that business is handled in the form of, say, for instance, we're not open right now, but we'll be open at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning and we'll respond to your message then. And you can know how to answer some of those sensitive questions in quite an automated way, if you like to, through instant replies. And the question for here is, don't write like a robot, you write like the way you speak. So don't try to be super formal or super perky if that's not who you are. Be who you are, or at least speak in the voice of your business, the style that your business is accustomed to communicating in. Now, if you have a Facebook page, you're essentially already on Messenger. So we're not talking about necessarily Messenger for communicating with family and friends. We're talking about Messenger in the sense that it's a Messenger inbox within your Facebook page. So if you have a Facebook page, your business also has a business version of Messenger's inbox where you can communicate with people and all that. The beautiful thing is too, it's also available through the app. So it's not like you're only just using your Messenger app to communicate with family and friends. You're also able to use that app to communicate with customers of your business or multiple pages if you run multiple pages as well. So let's look at managing your messages. There's self-serve kind of stuff for people. So if people largely ask you the same kind of questions over and over again, you could perhaps serve up proactive instant replies because you kind of know what people are going to ask straight away, especially if they're asking at particular hours of the night. For instance, if they're asking at 11 p.m. and you don't open until 9 a.m., it's a good chance and you can tell them we open at 9 a.m. the next morning. You can have reactive manual replies, which are things that allow them to put a question out there and you have a reply that comes back to them. So that's something where, for instance, people go through and they have some kind of question they have for you, and then you have manually placed answers to those questions that can be answered through an automated chatbot type scenario. And you can also have away messages and saved replies. So these are ones which are common. Saved ones are saved messages or replies that you just about always come up with, those frequently asked questions. You've almost got them filed away, so you can very easily go, boom, here's the answer. Or away messages tell people when you'll be available to actually chat with them live, since you're not available live right now. You can also integrate with live messaging. So you can go and, for instance, chat with people right now. You don't have to necessarily be doing it in such a way that you're only chatting to them through bots. You can certainly chat live as well. There's also automations that you can put in there through things like ManyChat, for instance, has lots of API interaction that allows you to set up certain chains of communication that are almost smarter than just simply, answering back and forth questions. They have the decision trees. If they say yes to this, then you give them this information. If they say no, you give them this information. And there's also AI, which is helping to really that machine learning AI thing is really opening up much smarter ways of these particular chat tools to be able to talk back to the kind of questions you're asking. So let's have a look at save replies. They look a little bit like this on the left. So you've got a save reply. It's where someone's saying, whoa, I totally thought these were plastic plants. Aha, they look so beautiful. And then you can have save replies to the thing that to do with plastic plants. So you can have it around keywords on key phrases or key questions that people generally ask. So you've got those already coming up. So this, the AI in the system has said, okay, plastic plants is something mentioned. You actually do have a couple of saved replies that you have to do with plastic plants. One saying, yes, we do deliver. We deliver plants within 20 miles of our store. Or you can pick, hello, Brian, our indoor plants are perfect for your sweet home. Please take a look. So you can say, well, this is what we're going to respond to as a part of our response to questions like that. And you can have greetings. So this is a greeting that first comes up when you come into the Facebook page for Lucky Shrub. And it says, hi, Eva, thanks for getting in touch with us on Messenger. Please send us any questions you may have, and we'll try to get back to you as quickly as possible. I'll just go back a screen. Sorry, I just jumped ahead of myself. And away messages look like this on the right. So if I can help with anything else, they say, thank you, that's all. And there's an order confirmation. And then there's another one which says, hey, thanks for your message. We're away right now, but can't respond at the moment. We appreciate you reaching out. So it's just letting someone know that, yes, you're away right now, but they can't respond right now, but they may respond later on. You could be more specific and give times like that as well by setting your away times as a part of your Messenger setup in your page. So you can also reply instantly with these save replies. I really like save replies because they cut down the amount of typing I have to do. And I have fat fingers, so my typing is not exactly perfect. So in this case, well, totally thought these are plastic plants. You can insert a save reply by clicking on the little chat bubble that's at the bottom right there on a desktop situation. So if you're looking in your business suite at the moment within Facebook and looking at the page that you're connected to, you can see the chat bubble down the bottom. So I'll just sort of circle that with what I've got on the screen here. And that allows you then to insert any save replies you may have that are relevant to that particular line of questioning that's coming through. Save replies can be some simple ones, so that's a couple of words, a couple of sentences, and they can be more complex as well. You can sort them by frequently used and also by last used. So if you just using the same one over and over and over again, the last used maybe or recent may be the best one, but frequently used is quite often going to be the one you're going to have simply, and that's why it's a default, because it makes it really easy for you to come back and answer those questions. You can create a save reply by clicking on the save reply area and then selecting create a reply. And then you can then put what the shortcut is to find that save reply later, and then the message you want to put in. So if you go hello is maybe the shortcut, then it's in there. Then you can add a bit of personalization by saying, okay, when it says hello, then it's going to say hello to the name of the person. And you can make that the first name of the sender, the first name of the recipient, or something like that, or the username when it comes to the person who is coming across to you and talking to you from Instagram. It could be their Facebook page link, or a number of little personalization techniques. In this case, we're going to have the first name of the recipient. Now, the first name of the recipient on Instagram, the username, that's what we want. And we add it. So now it looks a little bit like, hello, first name recipient. Our indoor plants are perfect for your sweet home. Please take a look. This allows us to speak very directly to the person. Now, they may or may not see this as, oh, this is just a bot that's really smart and can read my name. It might just be like, that's what we've become used to, because all emails are like this, email marketing is like this, chatbots are like this. We're used to being addressed, whether it's by a human or by a bot, by our name. So it seems like a friendlier, more proactive way of talking with someone. You can also add photos to your to your saved replies as well. So they're not just in the case of words, you can add photos as well, which means you can add things like the photo of the front of the shop if you're giving directions, or you can add a photo of a particular range of the plants that you're selling, or whatever it is you're selling. You can load them up from your computer and then off you go. So there you go. It just shows that little photo in there. So someone in the chat can click on that photo and see a bigger version of it as well. And then we save. And now we have our saved reply. So you can also have instant greetings that greet people as they enter your page. So let's have a look at what Lucky Shrubs looks like. You can go into your settings, then select your messaging settings. Once you're in there, select messaging and start a messenger conversation where you want to click show a greeting and turn that on. At the moment, it will say something like, hi, Eva, thanks for getting in touch with us on Messenger. Please send us any questions you may have, but you can change that to whatever message you want to have. So you speak in the tone of voice that your customers are used to you speaking in. It can be g'day, it can be hola, it can be whatever you would normally greet people in. That's how you're going to greet them with your Messenger instant greeting as well. So once you've done that, you change it, put in what you want to do, and then it shows you a live version that you can test. It shows you actually what it's going to look like on a mobile device. Pretty nifty, huh? You can turn that on and off, and you can also add that personalization like we did before. Now you've got that on the hand, you can set your status to away as well. So for instance, there's certain hours of the day you close down and you are not available for people to call you or to message you or to have any interaction with you. Then you can set an away message in here as well. So under automated responses in your inbox settings, you can set that away message, and you can see it right there. And then once you've done that, you click edit to set a schedule of how you want to set those away messages. So you can set it so, for instance, every night after 6 p.m, then it goes away and that comes up. Oh, then it goes to every weekend you're not available on Sundays, for instance, and you can set your status away for that one as too. So all those different options are available to you, as well as the text you're going to select. So the schedule, get that sorted and selected. You can select now the areas you're going to highlight as away times are actually the times you're away. You're not highlighting your opening hours, you're highlighting your closed hours. And then you put in your customized message there so that you can go, yep, this is where I want to be. This is where I want to measure. Here's what I'm doing. And then you save and you've got your away message. Now you can provide some personalized service as well through having some kind of interaction that makes it a lot more personalized by going in and live answering things as well. So for example, we've got this idea here where you go into your business suite inbox, which is a great place to start these conversations and to get and to be able to interact with people. So you can say, hey, you don't have to have an automated response in there. You actually can go in and put in your own response. So let's just say, pick one of those conversations and you can respond at any time. Best practices when it comes to these is to set a welcome greeting. That's really important because it then sets the tone that you are approachable and that people may chat to you, and that's actually a good thing for them to do. You're not being sort of really broken away or pretending to not want having customers reaching out to you. You've actually set the tone that you want people to talk to you. Set some expectations with instant replies. So for instance, things like, hey, we'll be back in 3 hours time and answer that question. Or yes, you can buy this thing, but it's not currently in stock. You have to order it and it takes 2 weeks. So you can actually not disappoint people. You do that sort of under promise, over deliver thing. And use an away message if you can't be there at the time. They're always really handy because you don't want to be seen as being poor customer service oriented. You want to be seen as, yes, we'll give you that service. We just are not available just at this very moment. And then you can send the right message to each customer in the way that they like to be communicated. And save time with those saved replies. They're really going to help you to not have to be a slave to your inbox. Now, one of the great things with Messenger is that it encourages communication with customers. By being on the platform where they are, you're making it so easy for them to communicate with you, reach out with you, and that's what it's all about, encouraging your customers to make a connection with you so you can build on that relationship with them. One of the ways you do that is having a send message call to action button on your page. Now, you can have different things like visit website, call us, or send message. By having the send message, you're making it very clear that you're very open when people are on your Facebook page to be contacted by them through this. Just by adding that, the call to action button allows you to do it. Now, you've also got what is called an m.me link. And an m.me link is a personalized link just for your page, which is m.me, then the username for your particular Facebook page. In my case, it might be I am Dante St. James, or it could be Clickstarter. Yours could be Lucky Shrub, for instance. That becomes a little short code of a message that people can go to a website, enter that link in, and it starts a messenger conversation straight away with your inbox. So it sends people from your website or an email that you just sent to your customer in Facebook Messenger. So you can have people message you from an email, so they can go from an email, click that link, and then open up a conversation, or they can go to your website, and that could be one of the ways they can talk with you. It can be an m.me link, which opens up Facebook Messenger and allows someone to communicate you through that platform. You can also send people to Messenger. So for instance, when you have the automated response says, hey, we're happy to help out with questions about any of our succulents, you can then start that conversation in Messenger popped up on that page. So okay, continue in Messenger as you, or you can continue as a guest. And this is on your website, for instance. So you go to your website and you can have a chat plugin to your website that allows people to start conversations through Facebook Messenger with you right there on your website. It's a really handy way to do it. And you can have all those automations and all those instant replies all working through this as well, because it's connecting directly through to your Facebook Messenger inbox on your page. It gives customers the options to receive notifications from you in Facebook Messenger. So they can send a message and then you can reply back to them. And they don't have to be on your website to get that reply, because they'll get it through their Messenger. Much, much more handy rather than having something proprietary on your website, which people have to sort of hang about on your website in order to receive the answer. You can also add a checkbox. So for instance, if someone's shopping at your e-commerce site, they see a product, there's a checkbox that can be ticked, which allows you to get updates on the process of your shopping through your shopping cart through Messenger. So this can happen both in Facebook shops and Instagram shops, but also through approved partners such as Shopify. So you have that little checkbox in forms so your customers can opt in to get updates about that delivery or about the fulfillment of what they just bought. It's a really fun way to do it, and it allows them to have a little bit more interaction with the process of shopping. Now, the Facebook chat plugin goes on your website. So it looks like that, and it's really, really powerful to do. So let's say if you want to get a bit more stuff from Messenger, you can use platform development providers. So these are people who, for instance, work very closely with Facebook to develop interfaces that work to automate workflows. For instance, ManyChat is one of the very primary partners of this. A lot of other Active Chat is another one. There's plenty of these different providers that have been given an access into this Messenger platform to enable them to have their messages and their particular sales funnels and their particular chatbots to interact with the platform really, really nicely. You can also get more from Messenger through developer partners. So those developer partners, either you can be a developer partner if you've got a particular product you want to connect through. So you can benefit from messaging expertise in different people and different companies that really have developed deep, deep expertise and knowledge on communicating with people for retail, or communicating with people through courses, or communicating with people through services rather than just products. And it increases the speed to market of your messenger solution if you go through developer partners, because you can then get all that together, get it all approved, and it goes through Facebook, and then it's approved much faster, and you get to market with a really solid, really good working solution, rather than sort of waiting around and waiting for someone to go, well, is my chatbot working? Is my solution here working? You can work through these partners and actually get that easy. And you also get early access to platform products and features that may not be added to some of the non-partner integrations. So how do you measure whether what you're doing on Facebook Messenger is actually successful? Well, you do that from learning from your insights. So there's insights on your page that you go to, and allows you to see some things like messaging connections. So under the messages of your insights, you can see how many people connected through Messenger. You can see how many people blocked you as well, which is a really handy insight, because if you're maybe reaching out a little bit too many times in an automated way and people are not really happy with that, you'll see your block rate tends to go up. Then you've got new messaging connections, which is like, here's the new people who've been added on in the last week or the last month or the last 6 months. And your new blocked connections, so that's people who in the last week may have blocked you. It's not going to tell you who they are, it's just going to aggregate those numbers. So you can see if last week, excuse me, lunch did not go down well. If last week that only one person blocked you, but this week 22 people blocked you, you know you've got a trend that you're going to worry about there. And new reported connections as well, which lets you know if there's a certain amount of people who are new connections through to you that have come through in the last couple of weeks or whatever period you want to learn that information from. Now, you can also advertise into the messenger space by amplifying your efforts and amplifying, I guess, the reach of what you're doing. And the ad types in Messenger are ads that appear in the Messenger inbox. So that's one that you can do. So appearing in that Lucky Shrub ad, that's just being right there between Haley Cook and Hunter Crew. So you can see an ad appearing in the inbox. And then there's ads in Messenger stories. So if if you're using Messenger on the mobile, you'll see Messenger stories from people who are sharing, I guess, messages to their friends in Messenger through the stories feature. Then ads can appear there too. You can have ads in the feed on Facebook and Instagram that then point to Messenger as a next action. So, for instance, we want to get people to chat to Lucky Shrub about wanting to design their own garden. So that, rather than having a call to action going through to a website, goes through to Messenger instead and starts a conversation. And then you can have sponsored messages as well, which appear as messages within the feed. I haven't seen too many of these appearing in Australia so far, and they tend to only appear on mobile when they do. So they don't tend to be that often a kind of message that's coming up. So a very, very specific kind of placement that's not yet available very widely in Australia. And those ads in the Messenger inbox, they extend the reach of your Facebook campaigns to the other 1.3 billion people who use Messenger each month. It's a really, really powerful placement. Your Messenger stories, again, your ads that click through to Messenger with that send message button. And you can customize that welcome experience when people first arrive in your Messenger funnel. So for instance, you can say, hey, Brittany, that's that personalization. Looking to upgrade your beauty routine. What do you want to start with? And it then has a video that then explains what some of those things can be. So you're showing people there's places where they can go and things they can watch to learn more about your products and your services. For Lucky Shrub, they've got like an automated welcome experience, which is like, here's a particular product we want to point you to straight away, and you can order it straight away, or you can find out more about that product. And in Hair Day, it's just a kind of a generic welcome message. It's just simply saying, welcome to Hair Day. Please let us know how we can help you. So it's a little bit more than just a, hi, we're not open. It's actually saying, hey, please let us know how you can help you. It's welcoming and encouraging a conversation to start. Your sponsored messages then, they're targeted in context ads that let you re-engage people who have an existing conversation with your business. So this is, for instance, where someone's already started that conversation previously and you want to then go in and reconnect with them again. So that's an actual paid ad placement rather than saying, here's an ad I want to place. I'm going to place an ad with someone who already has a relationship with me through Messenger, as opposed to just sending a random message. Now, if you want to see how things look in your greetings and all that, there's actually a preview tool, which is really cool. So if you select when you're creating your messages, select the preview in Messenger app, you can then have it come through to your phone app on Facebook Messenger, and then you actually see it in action. So you see how it looks, you can respond to it and test it yourself. It's a really cool way of actually seeing what the customer end experience is of these messages that you're creating. So just click that preview and messenger button when you're building those automated responses. And then there's this, it'll come up on your phone and it'll act as a real one. So a few tips here to manage your conversations with your customers. Use visuals and descriptive text to prepare people for a conversation. So if you're sending people off to Messenger from an ad, for instance, make sure that what they're asking for is something that you can provide. So if you've got some sort of photo in there that indicates what those conversation starters could be, it's a really good place to start. Respond with a lot of clarity for people. So if they click on the get started and they want to start their conversation with you, then be clear that you're there and be clear that you're asking them if there's some way you can help with them. So you don't want to come back with something vague. You want to be very direct. You can say, they can ask a question, say, what's your best hair care product? And you can have a preset response that's very related to that, such as our hair mask is one of our best sellers. Would you like to make an order? And they can go yes straight to it, but maybe they just are a little shopping around at the moment. This is not a very commonly used feature by businesses in Australia outside of big companies, and airlines like Jetstar, for instance, have excellent chatbots integrated into the Facebook Messenger. So to maximize the impact you can have through Messenger, be very relevant. That's the first thing you need to do, is make sure you're very relevant and talking in the tone of voice, which is very much like your business. Set a campaign length for 7 to 10 days at least, so you can get enough feedback on that to learn and enough for the Facebook algorithm to know exactly who you want to send those sponsored messages and in-message ads to. And then use call to action buttons, such as the one that says send to Messenger, or the one at the top of the your Facebook page, which says message us. And then run ads during your hours of business, so that you then have a place where people can come through to Messenger and they expect that if they saw an ad from you, that they can message you and they'll be able to interact with you. Some of these are much more advanced things, like keeping your bids within the range of the pre-filled value. That's something which is for very advanced users of the Facebook ads platform, but this is not. Be responsive. So make sure you're answering those questions, those queries, so that people don't feel like they're being ignored. Test different things out. Just have a go at something and see if it's going to work with you. And then optimize based on the things that work. So when you have something that works, double down and do it again. If it doesn't work, chuck it out and try something else. So your messaging reporting and insights then come through those sponsored ads reporting. So you can look through your ads manager and see how your Messenger ads are performing. So you can read the same kind of insights into your Messenger ads as you can read to any other ads you do running on Facebook. So let's wrap this bit up and then go to WhatsApp. So engage your customers with Facebook Messenger. Set expectations with your customers so they know how to deal with you and what you can actually provide to them through Messenger. Make it easy for your customers to reach you. You don't want to be that out of touch that makes it too hard for people to actually interact with you. Then you can take what you're doing and amplify that with ads. And then measure your engagement and ad performance so you know what's working, so you can double down on it, and what's not working so you can remove that and work with something else. I'm going to go forward to this. This Facebook Blueprint is an amazing resource that is so underutilized. So I really do encourage you to use it as one of the best training resources available online today. You don't have to go and buy someone's fancy schmancy learn how to use Facebook ads course. It's all right here for free from Facebook under Facebook for Business. So just go to facebook.com/blueprint, and that's a place for you to learn more about it. For now, though, I want to draw your attention over to a fantastic tool called WhatsApp. Now, it's something which we haven't had as much to deal with here in Australia, but it's certainly one of the world's, by far, one of the biggest messaging platforms, second only, funnily enough, to Messenger. So let's get that out of the way, get my slideshow going, and let's look at Messenger, where we're going to look at a little bit about what it is, how to get started in the WhatsApp business app as opposed to the consumer app, create a WhatsApp business profile and help people discover your business using ads, and some of those recommended best practices of using WhatsApp as a business. So WhatsApp is all about simple, secure, reliable messaging. It's end-to-end encrypted, so people feel safe using it. It's not as far as not as widely used in Australia as it is used in places like Indonesia, India, and a lot of Southeast Asian countries. European nations are really loving WhatsApp as well, and South America as well. So you find, even though it's not used that far much here, having the option for people in countries that will deal with you to contact you through WhatsApp is really important to them, and it shows that you are valuing them. You can use it through the web and also through mobile. It's connected to your phone number, your mobile phone number, but you can still access it through a web interface. So that might be important to you if you work in an office during the day. You can use it for chatting with people. You can use it for free voice calling as opposed to a phone, and you also do free video calling too. And you can set a status. So you can set statuses like, I'm here, I'm not there, I'm friendly, I'm really excited to speak to people today. Anything that's going to give you that kind of boost for people to come and chat with you. Now, WhatsApp is about chatting, calling, and sharing. So it's very, very commonly used for people to share with family and friends. But it's also very powerfully used for businesses. If you've ever been to Bali, for instance, you know this is the only way to chat to drivers and people in businesses is to contact them through WhatsApp, either through a video call or through chatting with them as well. So it's not just a consumer tool. This is not just for chatting with family and friends, much like Facebook Messenger. It's very much about using it for lots of other things. There are 2 billion WhatsApp accounts are active every month. That's a lot. That's a lot of people chatting. There's 15 billion minutes of calls every single day and 500 million daily WhatsApp status users. So I don't know anyone's on WhatsApp. That's all right. There's plenty of people on WhatsApp regardless of whether you know them or not. And that's where your customers could very well be. So your product principles have to reflect the ways that users depend on WhatsApp. So you're not going to see as many ads placements and that sort of thing. It's not a place for ads. It's a place for communication and relationships. They've had to keep WhatsApp very, very simple because that's the way people like it. It has to be super reliable because it is very much an essential tool in people's lives in many countries. And it has to be secure because quite often it's used in countries where people may not feel particularly confident with communicating with people outside of their family and friends circle. And they might feel that they're kind of unsafe if they're chatting to people who I suppose are, they might feel unsafe if they're chatting in countries where, for instance, the motives of their government may not be aligned with their own. WhatsApp then creates digital living rooms where people have control of their personal and private conversations. They feel safe because they're end-to-end encryption. 90% of the messages sent on WhatsApp are from one person to another, and the majority of groups that chat on WhatsApp, so you can create groups of people as well, will have fewer than 10 people in them. So why is it so good for business? Because messaging is indispensable when it comes to business. It's now, you'd know that through Facebook Messenger and through SMS. People are expecting to chat about that. People increasingly want the intimacy of communicating and connecting people privately. And in messages and stories, this is from Mark Zuckerberg, the founder and CEO of Facebook, messages, small groups, stories, they're by far the fastest growing areas of online communication. And we all need privacy and I guess reliability when it comes to communicating. And so this service could be even more important in our lives. So we cannot ignore what the role of messaging is in 2021. So the expectations of business have changed so far. 2 in 3 people surveyed globally say they messaged a business during the last holiday season. So you're talking about the December period, the Christmas New Year period. So that's a huge rise. So what they're saying is that we're getting much more comfortable with messaging businesses rather than having to call them, because often you just get put on hold, you get in queues. If you message someone, you can get an answer back at some point and they will reach out. Conversation happens where consumers are spending their time. If they're spending time on their phones, that's where it's going to happen. 50% of people surveyed are messaging businesses on social media and messaging platforms. 90% of people say they message businesses on Facebook platforms like Facebook Messenger and WhatsApp, or even Instagram direct messages. Customer engagement is absolutely critical. 40% of respondents started shopping online from messaging with a business. 1 in 3 respondents surveys say they chat with business in order to determine their credibility. It's a way of people shopping around for you. And if you don't respond, they may not actually deal with you. But if you do, you've got a bigger chance of people actually wanting to go through and convert to a sale with you. So let's get started with the WhatsApp business app. Now, WhatsApp wants to enable any person to discover and communicate with any business by having a presence on WhatsApp, being discoverable and searchable on WhatsApp, and then being able to very easily communicate with customers on WhatsApp and with those businesses. 50 million people are actively using the WhatsApp business app right now to work with business solutions. So this is a really good number. This means 50 million businesses around the world are now doing this. So what can you do with the app? Well, you can have a business profile on WhatsApp that looks a little bit like this. Nice little neat package that actually shows that you have a presence as a business and a bit of a description, how to get to you, your locations, and your contact details. The primary contact detail obviously being your presence on WhatsApp. You can set greeting messages much the same way you do on Facebook Messenger, an automatic greeting. When someone comes to your profile on WhatsApp, they will then be greeted with this message, and you can set that message and customize it. You can label chats. So for instance, if you have conversations, you can then label them into, say, for instance, new customers, pending payment, archived, that kind of thing, or completed orders. That makes it very easy for you to then go and look at all the different messages in your conversation on the web app or on the phone app. You can see who are the people who are not yet paid, who are the people who have not yet answered, who are the people we served back in January. You can have quick replies, so you can have ones which are already there and already ready for you, like those quick replies or the saved replies that you've got in Facebook Messenger. And there's away messages, just like Messenger as well. Then the same thing that you've got in terms of the m.me link, which links through to Messenger. You've also got a similar short link, which is available for people to chat with you from things like websites or emails. You can embed that link in there and off they go. There's also a little QR code that you can use for people to scan on their screen or on a business card that will help you to be able to get people to start that conversation instantly on WhatsApp from their phone to you. So for small businesses, you can create a business profile using only the WhatsApp business app. The usual WhatsApp app does not allow you to do this. Both the apps do chat with anybody on the WhatsApp network, so it's just the same app. But when you have a business, you then create a business profile, and you have to do that with the WhatsApp business app. You can't do that with the regular WhatsApp one. So how do you create that profile? And what can you do with the business app? Download the app, and you follow those prompts, and you can register your phone number. I suggest you probably do it on a separate phone number to the other one. You can run both versions of WhatsApp on your phone though. It will work. I've got both versions on mine, where I use personal conversations with my friends in Indonesia and other countries on the personal WhatsApp, but on the B one, so not the little phone call one, the B one, it actually allows me to then answer questions about my business. You can add your business name to the profile, select a category, and then build out your profile with a nice cover photo, a little description, and then details like your address, and it'll automatically set a map. So adding that detail means you're able to then be found by searching on the WhatsApp apps as well. Now you can use these messaging tools to connect with customers way more easily and more efficiently than what you've been able to before by customizing your messages under what we call business tools. So it's a menu item called business tools. You get under there and you can select things like your address, your hours, your website connections. You can have a catalog of your products and prices. This is the same as, I guess, of having your Instagram and your Facebook shops. You can have labels for each of those messages. So you can label messages as they come in to sell to people. If you're sharing a business profile with several staff, you can then see where each one is at. So you can see where people are being served or not served, whether they've been happy or not happy, or whether they are at different stages along your sales journey. You can set away messages, greeting messages, and quick replies all under those business tools. So your greeting messages allow you to do the same thing as you do on Facebook Messenger. Right there, just edit it, and then off you go. And then you give it an interface that looks like this that allows you to do it. Quick replies are the same as the saved replies in Facebook Messenger. Right there, set your quick reply, and then it comes up in a list of different ones. So they allow you to use little like short codes. So they've got the /1 is this one, /N. So if you want to use quick codes, you can use like keyboard shortcuts that help make this a much faster thing. And then away messages are much the same. You can schedule those, a start time and end time. You can have it set to actually send that to everybody who contacts you or only certain contacts. And then you can send an away message out at whatever message you want to actually set it for. Labels are great because they allow you to organize your contacts and your chats and let you find them easily next time you go into the app or into the web app, which is likely where businesses are going to be using this. This allows you then to look at things like, are they a new customer? Are they yet to pay? Are they a VIP? Are they people who need special treatment? You can then highlight them in this list so you and others who are using your profile are able to identify those customers more easily and give them the service they deserve. You can easily add new contacts. Those QR codes are pretty much, once upon, you go back 2 years, QR codes were barely used. Then COVID happened and suddenly everything was a QR code. So now they've become very important. These WhatsApp QR codes are easy ways for people to scan it with their phones and then connect with you with an instant conversation through the WhatsApp app. And then you can report those, review those important metrics and results for what you've been doing to show the effectiveness of the messages you've been having. So what you do first of all is just go and select the part of the screen, which is the little dots menu, top right-hand corner. Then you're going to select Business Tools. And then under your Business Tools, you're going to select the message, the dot menu again. And then you want to see Statistics. And this will show you the basic statistics. Now, how many messages got sent, how many messages got delivered, how many messages read, and how many messages received. Gives you really, really basic analytics that tell you, okay, this is what you're doing, this is how successful you are. And it gives you an idea of what you're able to achieve as a frequent messenger and user of messaging on WhatsApp. You can also build your mobile storefront with a catalog in such the same sort of way that you can do it with things like we're talking about Facebook shops and Instagram shops as well. So go into your business tools again, that little the dot menu, and then in your business tools you'll select catalog, and in that you can then set up and add different things, different parts of your catalog. So you've got another beautiful cover photo with a little bit about your shop. And then in there, you can set up all these little options. Now, not everyone is able to do a shop on WhatsApp just now. There's only certain parts of the world that's in. In Australia, this is being tested. So when you do get to do this, you're getting a head start on how to actually make this happen. So what are the best practices on WhatsApp? We want to make sure you're responsive in the same way with Messenger. If you're going to have a chat option, make sure you actually use it. Monitor the trends. That's a very good way of you saying, I can get trends that are happening with my customers, and I know where problems may be occurring, and I know where we're doing well as well. You can use it to set expectations for your customers so they can be knowing that they can receive things in 2 weeks instead of the promised 3 weeks, which is a great thing. You're not over promising and under delivering. You're setting expectations that are in line with what you can deliver. And again, be conversational. Write the way that you already speak. It's a much more fun way of dealing with things. You can help people discover your business using ads as well, but at the moment, ads are not actually available in Australia. So what we then need to look at is what you do next. So what you do next is start testing out communicating with your customers using Messenger and WhatsApp. At the moment, WhatsApp may not seem like it's a great place for you to operate, but I can tell you now, if you're selling overseas, it's the only place to operate. They're not going to be very active in Facebook Messenger in places like Southeast Asia, South America, and Africa and Europe. This is the lands of WhatsApp. So make sure you do actually build WhatsApp into what you're doing. Not just playing around and pretending to use WhatsApp when you really do need to use it. And secondly, then start to build yourself some processes around using Messenger and WhatsApp, ensuring that you've got a responsive attitude, making sure you've got those quick replies and things set up, and you've got the ability to set yourself up in such a way that you're making it simple and easy for people to be able to contact you, people to be able to interact with you, and then eventually buy from you as well. And when we get the option to have those powerful WhatsApp shops as well, then people will be able to shop through WhatsApp with you, as well as Facebook shops and Instagram shops, and of course your own website. My name's Dante St. James. I thank you very much for joining us. This has been presented to you by the ASBAS Digital Solutions Program with Business Station in Western Australia, Regional Development Australia in Queensland, and Treaty Business Consulting in the Northern Territory. I hope you really enjoy this. Learn more at the Facebook Blueprint, and please continue your journey as taking time out of your business to work on your business. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you soon.